Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary pals and engines, I got new 2026 merch. They finally came to Australia at Big W. They only have about, I don't know, 8 of these packs. So there was a bunch of packs of this on the shelf. And I was so excited, I had to grab one. Now, for me, I think this is a great pack for 2 reasons. One, if you're a person who's unsure what they want to collect, this is a great starter pack. So you get, a tank engine, 2 tank engines, a piece of rolling stock, and a tendo engine, so you can, figure out what you like and dislike about this new range. And this is great for me because it has most of the engines I want to get: Thomas, Rosie, and Edward. Granted, they're not in their normal foams, but that's okay with me. I can live with that. The other couple engines I want to get is Percy, obviously. I want to get Henry, and when they come out, Rheneas and Duck. But yeah, so this has got most of the engines I want, at least half of them, so that's great for me. Without any further ado, let's open this package. Let's open this bad boy. Come on, I don't want to rip this clean off. Like, I still want the hinge, if that makes sense. Oh no, come on. I think I just opened this. Yeah, that's not my part. I think, are you meant to, I don't know. Actually, how do you open this? Oh god. Oh god, so there, now you can see my terrible unboxing skills. This was actually glued quite well, I have to admit. And yeah, I don't really like the new Thomas, but that's just my preference. I can't speak, I'm just excited, okay? There we go, and 2 of them are already out. Let's start with the hippo, because it's probably the least interesting part. It's a hippo. I guess I'm not really into these animals, because I remember back in the Big World era, they made like a Trackmaster Percy pack, and it had like animals and stuff, and Percy was all painted up, and that was really bad. I've never liked these animals, and also I just realized, giant seam line, Mattel. But yet again, the thing is, I don't care about the seam line because I don't care about this. Mattel, we buy Thomas stuff for, it being Thomas, not for these things, but that's around for another day. Speaking of Thomas, let's go on to him. I think, for the most part, he looks quite nice. I noticed in the box just before I started filming, I love this detail. Since it's got like this pattern on it, the wheel arch goes up to like the tank, which I thought was really cool and clever. Also, I love the detail of the lamp. I'm never going to get used to that face. I mean, it does look like the arts, but I'm never going to... I mean, maybe it's not bad, but it's like the CGI series before. If you like it, more power to you. I can totally understand. It's just not my thing, so I don't think I'm ever going to get used to that face. But anyway, the wheels look a bit too far down, but other than that, it's pretty good. Let me just ignore the... Yeah, I think that looks really good. I like the dome. The whistles are not painted, but oh well... Interestingly, this looks like it's all one piece. This Thomas looks pretty nice. I'm very happy I have it. I'm probably not going to get the normal one because this is fine by me. So, yeah, that is Thomas. Also, I bought a wooden Thomas. So let's see which way the magnets work. Okay, they work like they did in old wooden railway. So that means they're going to be facing this way. So, unlike, because I know the dumb magnet taken play, they would couple like this, and it was so annoying unless you got towed. But anyway, so yeah, that's enough of me rambling about that Thomas. Let's move on to the truck. I like how long this is, and also something I've just noticed this second actually. Look at that. So this magnet, look how short that is. Look at this way, it's much longer. I don't really like that, but I quite like this truck. It's warmed on me because I wasn't a big fan when I saw it in the pictures, but holding this in my hand, it's warmed on me. Also, I just realized, look at the way the face is held in. That reminds me of last year's ATF style plate. Let me just get one for myself. So here's an ATF Trackmaster or motorized truck, whatever you call it. It looks like the face is held in a very similar way. And I know with these guys, when you unscrew it, the face just comes flying out. Like, I thought when I first did it, you would need to get a screwdriver and just go... But no, it just like, you just unscrew it and boom, the face flies out. So I know this is riveted and I'm not going to try, but I wonder if you unrivet this, does the face just come flying out, or do you need to like get a screwdriver and go... I'm going to assume no, because if... I think this is just my one, but if yeah, it is wobbling just the tiniest bit. So I'm going to assume it's just like this one. They just like put the face in and leave it be. So yeah, that's the truck. Let's move on to Rosie. So I've literally just got Rosie out of the box, and the first thing I've noticed, look how glossy she is. She is very glossy. Now I have mixed feeling about this Rosie because I think here onwards, I think it looks great, but I'm not a fan at the front because not only, I think Rosie might have the worst redesign. Like, someone on my Discord server says it looks like this Smurf, and I can't unsee it. Like, it looks actually, like, identical. Also, I just realized the magnet is very shiny in this one compared to the other ones, but, like, wait, let me just get Thomas. Yeah, it's not as, well, maybe I imagine if you, I don't know, I just noticed in this one, the magnet is just very reflective, but that's beside this one. But speaking of the magnet, I don't like the way it looks. Like, this angle, it looks fine. But this thing, like, look, it's almost touching her face. Look at that. Like, and you can see, like, a gap there as well. Like, let me just wear my finger. Yeah, I do not like the way the magnet looks. Like I said, this onwards looks really good. But I don't like the magnet. But, yeah, this one looks really good. But I'm not sure if this is accurate or not. But is she meant to have stripes? Because I know the, I'm pretty sure the pink one did. But maybe that's accurate. I don't know. But yeah, this looks very good. Again, it's got the animal detailing, which I don't mind because I'm probably not going to get the normal ones. I have this bad habit of not getting normal versions of characters because if I have the character in a toy line, good enough by me. Now let's get on to the engine I'm most excited about. Edward. I love the way this tender is connected. And when I saw the way the tenders connect, it reminded me of, do you remember when Leo Kim Video was going to do Mad Bomber 2, which never came out? He was cutting off all the tenders and springing them together. That's what this really reminds me of. And also, moving bogies. I think this is the first time a die-cast, like, tender engine or Edward has had that feature. That is really cool. Now, his face, probably, again, one of the worst ones. One of my friends says it's just Hank Wood. That's Hank's face, and I can't unsee it. But the rest of it looks really good. This is probably my favorite one I own so far. Also, now, because on the Henry, you can see little specks of, like, green. This one, you can't see specks of blue, so no. Yeah, this is probably my favorite one. I dig it. Besides that face, I dig Edward. Wait, hang on. I just realized. Again, very glossy, but there's like a, because this dome is a separate piece, but you can kind of see where they poked it through. It's more noticeable in some angles, like this one. Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, that's kind of annoying. But yeah, I love that tender. Again, it really reminds me of Mad Bomber, but yeah, that tender is good. The tender, yeah, that magnet does look a bit strange, but it looks much better than this Rosie magnet, I'll tell you that. Actually, let's just connect them. I'm very happy they brought back the magnet couplings, because I love how magnet couplings work. You just go, oh, it's just, I don't know, it's just satisfying, but yeah, this is Edward. So, yeah, that's this pack, and probably the majority of this range I'm going to be collecting. Like I said, I want to get Percy and Henry, and when they come out, Rheneas and Duck. So, yeah, but I'm a big fan of these, because, I don't know, I just think they look cool. I mean, I think I prefer last year's, but these are still really good too. I think I'm having fun already. Choo, choo, and this hippo is probably the worst part. You can get rid of that, but huge. I'm just playing with the oh my god. Anyway, let's get on to the next part of this review, because we are not done despite what you might think. Now, I'm going to compare these engines to their previous diecast versions, but before I do, I think I should do a quick track compatibility test, because most people are going to have these systems. I've lined them up from the most likely people to have to least likely, so let's go. Trackmaster 2. Now remember, we have been using this, I think, pretty good track for since 2014, so that's like what, 12, 13 years now. So most people like myself are going to have this track, so let's see how this fits. That fits really good, no problems at all there. Wooden track, which most people are going to have this because there's, you know, generic brands of it as well. This is generic. He runs well. there is a bit of a bump on this, like, you can't hear it. But that's because this is a different brand. I don't think that's actually a fault with the Thomas. I think that's a fault with this specific brand, because wooden track can be a bit confusing when you get different brands of it, but that's just something for another day. Take along or take and play? No problem at all. That's actually probably the best one. Look at that. And Trackmaster Classic, which most people like myself gonna have this track. I don't have much Tomy track. I would compare that, but I don't have it. Runs well there, so it runs well on all of these tracks. But if I had to pick the best one, probably take along. Yeah. Anyway, let's compare these to their previous versions, starting with our favorite little Edge. Thomas is his name. First off, we got the one that started all the original Ertl 1984 sticker face with the right running board. I'm only going to go over this one very quickly because I want to compare it to the normal Ertl Thomas, but I wanted to do this shot because it's the oldest Thomas to the newest Thomas. I always like doing this shot when the newest diecast Thomas comes out, so yeah, look at that. Anyway, let's move on to normal Ertl. First thing I've noticed, this one is quite a lot taller. Look at that. Look at what the cab is. This one's like, phew, it's towering. So yeah, it's quite a bit taller. These couplings are better. I love the couplings. The face, I'm not sure if I can compare the face because they're two different things, but obviously this one wins it. So I'm not going to compare the face. I'm just going to compare everything else. Oh, that's weird. I just now noticed. Because this is like all metal, but it's still like painted black there. This one is black because this and the coal bunker are like the same piece, but that's a weird coincidence, actually. This one's got, I'm not sure Thomas is going to have backlighting in these shows. That might be accurate, might be not, so you never know. I like this one more. This one's got a lamp though, so yeah, it's just very interesting. I prefer this one because of my nostalgia, but this one is not bad at all. I'm just saying this one because I'm very nostalgic for this and take along, but this one's not bad at all. Just know that. Now we've got take along / take and play. I'm only going to compare, I think this is a take along to this because I always classify take along and take and play under the same umbrella, and sometimes I can't tell them apart, so I'm just going to count it all as one. Anyway, tangent over. Let's just quickly compare these. They both have magnets, but they're the different types. Back looks like, that's what the top looks like, the side, like that, yeah, and also they're named, interestingly, the names are in different positions. Like, if I flip this over, look, that's how they should be, but then they're facing the other way, which is kind of interesting. Now we have dumb magnet take and play / adventures. I'm going to do these as a double whammy, because the only difference is the coupling system. I don't have normal Thomases of these two, so these are the ones I'm going to have to work with. So, they have very similar magnets. Do they stick out as much? No. On the front, no, and especially not on the back, so that's good. I hope in the future they don't become created and yucky like this. Like, look at how shiny that is. Like, look at the reflection. And look at the reflection there. You can't see it. But, yeah, just, this is so much better than this. Oh, my God, also. Yeah, because the wooden Thomas faced the other way, so yeah. These face the wrong way, which normally I would sit in this, but I'm sitting in this because it didn't sit right with wooden railway, so I don't like this ever. Go away. Let's just quickly compare this, the couplings. They don't talk, but I'm not sure which one I like more. Probably this one, because, you know, it's got more clutch power, but if this had, like, smart magnets, like take along, I think it would clear it, but yeah. I just love magnetic couplings because they're just so simple, just like, I don't know why, I just do. So I was happy to see these have magnetic couplings. Let's go on to the next version of Thomas. Now we've got the original Trackmaster push along. I hate this design. This is the only Thomas I had because I thought the pattern looked cool. And the pattern does look cool. The Thomas, like the body, not so much. So I don't even need to compare this. This one clears it easy. I don't even want to look at this. It's just so disproportionate. I love the pattern on it, but like the body just is terrible. Jeez, this one clears it by a country mile, even in the coupling system, because I think I love this coupling for the Trackmaster system, but on the metal ones, no. This is not a good metal coupling system, in my opinion. I'm sorry. Trackmaster, yeah, but like, did anyone ask for this to talk to Trackmaster? I don't think so, but we still got it, didn't we? And the Avengers already talked to Trackmaster. Sorry. I'm going to have to remove this before my blood boils, okay? Now, this is a comparison last year's Thomas to this year's Thomas. I thought the 80th stuff was amazing. Interestingly, they both have lamps. This one has a bit of a nicer looking lamp, but I think overall, even though I think these are both good, if I had to pick, I would prefer this one. I don't know, it just looks nice. I love the sidewalls, even if they look kind of weird from this angle, but that's okay. I love the whistles. The whistles are like separate pieces. They're just like molded in. I think the smoke box area looks a bit nicer as well. It's just, I don't know why. And also, I think this, even though I didn't like the couplings on the last version, I don't know why, but something about this one made them work. Made these couplings work, even though, like I said, I love these on track maps, but I don't think they were very good in push along. I think this was different. I think the other one, the problem was, like, they just got the adventures and just mangled it. This one was, like, built from the ground up, if that makes sense. But interestingly, I think the wheels are the same. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are the same. Maybe like a touch smaller, but that could be my mind playing tricks. I think it is the same wheel mode, which is very interesting. Also, they changed the design of the name. And okay, they're both made in Thailand, but yeah, this was a very interesting. Also, just realized these buffers are like 3D. So yeah, that was a very interesting comparison because I think this is a worthy comparison to make because these are the two most recent Thomases. Anyway, let's move on to comparing the troublesome truck. Hopefully, these other comparisons won't be as long. Now we're comparing the truck. Now, I don't have an normal troublesome truck, but I do have a Scruffy, and I know they just reused the mold of this truck onto Scruffy, so I guess it's a fair comparison. This is what they look like side by side. There's not really much to say. They're from two different planets. That's all you can say. Like, look at maybe you can say a lot because look at the differences. I don't even need to say anything. That's the thing. There, you just look at them like, are these the same truck? I mean, not really, but are these like from the same franchise? And surprisingly, yes. Even though they both look good, but I don't think they look good together. I think they look good separately. But yeah. Now we have the take-along truck. Now, this is, again, a very interesting comparison. I think these ones look nicer together than the Urkel truck, but still, they actually don't look too bad. I think you could get away with it, if that makes sense. Well, interestingly, look at that. Because when Thomas, wait. Yeah, see, you can get that magnet in the center there, but with this guy, no, it's slightly off to the side. Interesting, anyway. Oh, look, the face is held in the exact same way, look. Huh. I guess some things don't change, but, well, this is metal, so maybe it's a taking place. I don't know. As I said, I say they're the same thing, but yeah, that's the truck comparison. I don't have any other metal troublesome trucks, at least normal ones. I mean, I do have a talking one. Let's get that out just for fun. Here's the talking one, and they are almost the same, almost. Well, exactly, I can't tell. I think, like, lengthwise, they're longer, but I think this one, I know. Is it the same? I can't tell. They are very similar. But at the same time, maybe it's the colo, because this one has like a colo because it was a talking one. Maybe that's why it's throwing me off. But these trucks don't look too bad together except for the faces. I think they look better like this together. Like, imagine, like, let's get Thomas. Imagine that. I don't think that looks, beside the magnet, but, like, I don't think that looks too bad. Again, you could maybe get away with that, but with a comparison to a talking truck, let's move on to Rosie, which I only have one of, unfortunately. Now, this is actually the only other Rosie in my collection. The only other one I have is the take-along one. I used to have the talking one, but not anymore. I have the normal one, so let's give a quick comparison. Look at the difference, though. This is great. This one's metal as well, I just realized. No lamp, but this one's not even fair because they never made a smart magnet red Rosie, so is this even fair to compare these? All the coal bunkers different. Anyway, yeah, it's from two especially this one on the truck where like just from two totally different planets. Like this and the other one, like they kind of could be from the same planet besides the face, but these ones, no. Let's move on to probably the most interesting comparison. Edward. Now, the reason I think this is going to be the most interesting one is because I have Ertl Edward, and look! They have very similar faces, at least the vibe. I prefer this one massively. I think it's the pupils really help. I hate the pupils in this new show, but yeah, look at that. They are very interesting. And again, look, Again, because, like, you know, Mad Bob, when they cut off the tender, if I had that Bob, because that was his name, if I had Bob with the separate tender, it would be a very interesting comparison. Look, they have a vase. I mean, the wheels, the configuration's correct. You know, besides the sidewall there, the tender, no, it looks very, very naked without that middle wheel, but, yeah, it looks... Also, look, that has, like, a little piece there. This one doesn't. That's interesting. Oh! Wait. Can you... can you do that? Oh, that's funny. Anyway, let's move on to the take-along Edward, and then we're going to wrap up the video. So here's take-along / take-and-play Edward. Let's do a comparison of these. Again, these are very... I don't think as different as some of the others, but they are very different. This one's got cab detail, which is awesome. This one doesn't, unfortunately, but oh well. Beggars can't be choosers, can they? The tender between them is very different. Also, this one can do this. This one can't. I don't know which I like more, to be honest. That's a tough question, but I love the smart magnets on these trains. They look great, weren't they? But yeah, these are two Edwards, and that is the video. Now, before the video ends, I'll tell you what I think of this pack altogether. It's pretty alright. I prefer the last year's merchandise, but this merchandise is pretty good too. But unlike last year's, I think this has some serious flaws, but they're getting there, I would say. The quality control has been terrible, but my say has been pretty good. But yeah, I think this is a great starter pack. If you only want to just get a couple, like me, I think this is a great pack to get. But I don't like that hippo. I think that hippo, you can throw this away, let's be honest with ourselves. You can throw that away, but the rest of this pack is pretty good. So if you just want to get a little taste of this new range, get this and see where you go from there. So yeah, that's my review and comparison of the Sodor Animal Zoo pack thingy-mabobby. I hope you enjoyed, and bye-bye. Actually, I just realized something about this. Where the hell am I going to put it on my shelf? I have no space. I'm going to have to figure that out. Anyway, bye.